It is 8 o'clock on the start of your Friday.
Monday, excuse you.
Jeez. This has been a day for me.
He's been having a number of moments.
Somebody told me I was having a senior moment earlier.
And there's another one.
I don't know what is going on here, but it is finally Friday.
Ooh.
We are so glad to be with you here on a Friday.
Friday, we need it.
Take a deep breath. We have finally arrived at the end of the week, and an important cause that we need to talk about as we say good morning to you. Today is Go Red for Women Day. I'm wearing my red. My friend Denise here is
Red
wearing her red as well. Yeah, you've got a red lip going on.
Have to,
Okay,
always.
fair. Go Red for Women, such an important cause, raising awareness of one of the most dangerous diseases for women that is deadly as well. So Denise, actually one of those survivors, she had a heart transplant. What? How many years ago? 2?
2.5 years.
Wow.
3 years, June 9th.
Geez, good for you. Denise Abbey here. Denise is giving a huge speech at this Go Red for Women event coming up. When is it?
February 25th.
Okay.
I'll be there. So I'm going to MC the event, and there Denise is going to share her story, but she's going to share a little bit of it with us here now. You said 2020 was when this kind of first got started. If you take us back.
So on that day, it started off as any other day. I was with my girlfriend. We actually stayed over at the casino for the weekend, and we were on the 15th floor. And as we got on the elevator, started descending, I was like, I'm not feeling so good. By the time we got to the ground floor, I literally knew something was wrong. And I said to her, I said, I need to sit down. And then I felt like I had to go to the bathroom. So I was like, we went to the bathroom, and I literally felt the life leaving my body. And I said to her, I said, Laura, I'm dying. And she said, you're not going to die. I said, I'm dying. And I passed out. And I woke up. I was in the ambulance. I heard the EMT telling the hospital, Niagara Falls Memorial, she's having an MI. And I said, I'm having a heart attack. And he said, sweetie, I'm going to put you out. And the next memory I have is hearing voices saying, no, honey, you can't pull that out. And I had had triple bypass surgery.
Gosh.
That threw me into heart failure. And for the next year and a half, I was in and out of the hospital. I had a pacemaker, defibrillator put in. I had a mitral valve clip put on. It was just medicines constantly being adjusted, new medicines. And finally, on April 27th of 2022, they told me that I needed a heart transplant, that my heart was irreparably damaged. I was transferred to Strong in Rochester, and on June 9th of 2022, I got a second chance at life.
Oh my God.
I got a second chance at life.
You had that heart transplant.
I did.
What does that feel like to know that, you went from that feeling in 2020 where you felt like you were dying, like those were your last moments, and then you get that second chance and you have a new heart?
Taylor, that feels awesome. I can't even begin. Like, people don't understand what donating, like when you donate, you truly, not only did they change my life, they gave me life back, because I was dying. I'm about to be a grandmother any day now for the first time. And I mean, back in 2021, I didn't know if I would see those milestones. My youngest son is graduating from high school this year. I didn't know if I would see that. And the thing is that I was diagnosed with high blood pressure when I was 25, which is young. You don't think about, heart disease when you're 25 years old.
Right.
And actually at that time, I said to myself, I'm taking my medicine, I'm good, but, and I know my experience. Shortly before, exactly 5 weeks before I had my aortic dissection on August the 1st of 2020, I was feeling sick. And I went to urgent care, and then I went to the ED, and honestly, they told me that my heart was fine, but my gallbladder needed to come out. So I had my gallbladder out.
Wow.
But I think I was just relieved that they said that my heart was fine, because no one wants to think that there's a
Right.
problem with your heart.
Let me ask you this. There are so many women who are watching with us this morning, and we're so glad to have you. And I'm just going through the comments. People are calling you an inspiration. People are saying that this can hit at any time. It's so overwhelming. You can't thank the people who've donated enough for a second chance. What do you want people to know here?
I want people to know, one, women, I want them to understand that we have to pay attention to our bodies. We have to be our strongest advocate. You know, when I felt chest heaviness, when I was short of breath, you know, I was losing weight, not trying to lose weight. I mean, that's nice, but I wasn't trying to lose weight. So it's a little concerning. And when you go to a doctor and they sort of dismiss you, sort of make you, I think there's a tendency sometimes to make women feel like we're emotional, a little histrionic, you know, like a little on the touch side, right? When in reality, our bodies, we know when something is not right, when something is going on. So if there's any message, is to just pay attention to your body. Don't take no, you know, if we go to a store and we don't like the service we receive, what do? We don't go back to that store. We give them a terrible review or something, right? But if you have a doctor and your doctor isn't listening to you, get another doctor. Because at the end of the day, it really, truly is a matter of life or death.
Yeah.
You got to be your own best advocate.
Absolutely.
I want to read what Lori is saying. I understand, and she's praying for you. I went into cardiac arrest 9 years ago. I was declared dead for 6 minutes. God bless you, girl, she says. We've still not finished with our business yet. God bless you.
And, you know, for you now, we were talking about earlier, to hit that point in 2020, 2022 heart transplant, coming up on 2 years of that. How are you feeling now?
I feel fantastic. I feel incredibly blessed. I have a deep faith. So it has always been the center for me. And I just feel really blessed, grateful for every day. I don't take anything for granted any longer. I'm ashamed to say that I did.
Yeah.
But we don't think about dying, definitely. And, you know, so I actually thought that one day I would get cancer and that would be the thing for me, right? And it turned out not to be. It turned out to be cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women. And yet it's not something that we focus on. So the American Heart Association, the Go Red for Women, you know, I hope every woman out there is putting her red on today. And it is to make us just think about it, to be aware of, you know, that heart of ours is working hard. It never stops working, you know, so it takes a lot of
It's a muscle,
beating,
yeah.
Take care of it. Gotta take care
Denise,
of
let
it.
me ask you this. The recovery process, you said, was about a year.
Yes.
That's difficult, and it's daunting to think about that. Like, you're climbing a mountain and trying to get back to the person you were. You're better, though, than you've ever been.
Yes. So prior to my transplant, I wasn't living, I was existing. Okay. And when your heart isn't working correctly, like I couldn't do simple things. I'm a mom. Like I couldn't make a meal for my kids. My kids had to assume greater responsibility because I couldn't do it, you know, and it was hard on them watching me being sick. Today I can do, listen, after my transplant, I was in the hospital. I came home on 19 days after my transplant.
Wow.
And I remember, like my mother was saying, you're forcing these doctors to let you go home. And I'm like, the doctors aren't going to let me come
No.
home before they feel I'm ready, right?
Right.
But after almost losing my life, I wanted to live. And so now that's what I'm doing. I'm living. I feel fantastic. Sometimes when I talk about my story, I get overwhelmed.
I was going to say, you're getting emotional. Tell me why you're emotional here.
Because I literally was almost not here anymore. And I wasn't an old woman. I mean, I'm 58 years old. Like, there's a lot.
So
I'm going to
much
be here
life
for
to
another
live.
50 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Like, because I'm feeling good. Okay. And that's the thing. Like, and then to think the gift that someone gave me, you know, I wouldn't be here if it had not been for organ donation. So I talk about cardiovascular disease. I talk about organ donation. I'm talking about living, not existing. And when I think about that, I do get overwhelmed because I couldn't do the simplest of things. And now there is nothing, well, I'm not going ziplining, but
She said, let's not get crazy now.
I'm going to draw the line somewhere. But
Have you spoken, or do you acknowledge, or you acknowledge, I can hear it in what you're saying here, but do you speak with or have a relationship with your donor? Do you know who your donor is?
I don't. So I had to wait a year before I could reach out to my donor's family, and I wrote a letter
What
to
is
them. I said, thank you. Thank you. You will never know how grateful I am, and that I would cherish this gift of mine, that their loved one, their gift to me will never be in vain. It will never be in vain, because I almost wasn't here. I almost wasn't here. So it's interesting because I met someone who I was giving a testimony in church one day, and I was saying how I hadn't heard from my donor's family, and she related to me how 30 years before her brother had died and her family had donated his organs, and they had never heard from a recipient. So she said, hearing my testimony actually made her feel really good in knowing that what they did something really good, and they did something really good.
You were living proof, right, that you can have a second chance.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
Things can turn around. That, you know, once you're aware of these things and you start taking care of yourself and taking your life into your own hands, that you can make it through. And your story is such an inspiration. And
I want to go through
just
some of the
love that you're
comments here. Aaron says, Denise, you are my inspiration. How sweet is that? Lauren, once again, crying, watching Second Cup. Love this so much. Kim says, God bless you. Lori, God bless you. But I want to bring in Diane's comment. She's had a liver transplant before. Organ donation is the best thing / last thing you can leave and make a huge difference in somebody else's life and family. So we've got a couple of seconds left here. I wonder, what is your message for that person who's on the fence, trying to check that box on their driver's license, or that person who is considering helping be that match for somebody who might need some sort of a transplant? What are your message for them?
My message is, look at me. Look at me. I'm only here today feeling the best I've felt in years because of someone else's gift, their selflessness, and checking a box and talking to their family and saying, if anything ever happens to me, I want to be an organ donor. Like people like me, my friends, we wouldn't be here. Literally, we would not be here if it weren't for that. So I just say, you know, the good you would do is immeasurable, okay? And you can't take them with you.
No.
So why not pass it on and do something that's absolutely wonderful and change so many people's lives? This is the thing people don't understand. When you're sick, it's not just you. It's your family, it's your friends, it's everyone that loves you. And when you have a transplant, it's your family and friends. They get a new lease on life as well. So just women, pay attention to your heart health, you know, your health in period, okay? And then, you know, if you're thinking about, or if you're hesitating about becoming an organ donor, just think about Denise Abbey and how I get to live this life now. It's just wonderful.
you're such a blessing. We're so happy that you're here.
Can we give a round of applause to Denise?
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Your testimony is
Thank you.
it's touching, it's wonderful. And people in the comments now are saying, I'm a donor, and they're showing themselves.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
I think we should, continue to be open about that, have that conversation. Hey, are you a donor?
Yeah.
And talk about it more often, because then we have more Denise Abbeys in the world.
Can I give you a hug?
You absolutely
Thank
can.
you for
Thank you
coming
so
in.
much.
What a
25th again,
wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful
luncheon, the Go
story.
Red for Women luncheon. I'll be there. We'll be there together.
Yes.
And then right after, we're going ziplining.
Okay. Okay, Taylor.
Anna, do you want to give us the address that we could put in the comments? heart.org/GoRedBuffalo. Heart.org/GoRedBuffalo. John's going to put that in the comments. Again, February 25th, as you mentioned, Miss Denise is giving a huge speech. So thank you for sharing your story with us early and ahead of this big moment for you. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Denise.
Thank
I'll see
you.
you in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Let's switch gears this morning and also make you cry. How about this? Josh Allen winning MVP. Listen to what he had to say when he accepted the award.
A lot of people to thank. I know I'm going to forget a few, so I apologize in advance. I'd like to thank God, first and foremost, for allowing me to be here today. I'd like to acknowledge the other nominees, Jared, Joe, Saquon, Lamar, all had great seasons and all could be standing here today, and you guys would be deserving of it. So you guys are true stewards of the game. I look up to you guys. I admire you guys. I just look forward to sharing the gridiron in the future with you guys, too. I'd like to thank the Bills organization, Terry and Kim Pagula, Brandon Bean, Sean McDermott. Thank you guys for drafting me 7.5 years ago. Feels just like yesterday, it really does. And I know this is an individual award and it says most valuable player on it, but I think it's derived from team success, and I love my team. D-Doc, thank you for presenting. I really appreciate it. We got such a great locker room in Buffalo, and it takes everybody from the equipment staff to the training room to the strength staff, to Slick Rick in the mail room to the cafeteria upstairs. Like it truly takes everybody to have team success, and I'm so fortunate to be a part of a great organization. I'd like to thank Joel and LaVon, my parents, who, in my 20-plus years of playing football, going down to Pop Warner, I bet you they've missed maybe 15 games in their entire life. They are so dedicated to supporting me and my favorite teammates, who are my sister, my brother, and my little sister, Nicola, Jason, and McKenna. Thank you guys for all the support, all the time, money, energy wasted growing up, from going from meet to game to practice every day. I love you guys. I know you take a lot of pride in this as well. And last but not least, my fiance, Haley, who you've been my rock. You are my best friend. I would not be standing on this stage if it weren't for you. So with that being said, be good, do good, God bless, and go Bills.
That's our guy. I mean, who doesn't love him? And if you had any doubts about him, for all the naysayers, he was voted most overrated in a survey or something years ago. All that's done. That's the MVP right
what
there.
I want to point out here is that this was a 2-minute speech, and you ride the emotion with Josh and his family, right? You are seeing his mom and dad crying, a grown man crying for his son, because they genuinely have put their blood, sweat, and tears into this, just as Josh has.
And he's come so close, right? This is the 4th time that he's been nominated and been up for this award. He's come in 2nd before. He wins now. He gets the MVP. He makes it. And, it's a moment of glory for him, obviously, but he spends the entire 2 minutes almost thanking other people. He's thanking the guy in the mailroom, the chefs, the entire organization. He's like, it's an individual award, but he feels like it's a team effort that got him there.
Anita says, sad that he left out the Bills Mafia. Sorry, I turned my mic off for a second to talk with Denise, but I turned it back and I apologize. I understand what you're saying, Anita, but I'm gonna be the naysayer here. I'm gonna say this is less about us and more about him.
Let's celebrate him.
And I think that, and maybe this is a milestone for somebody in a career. When you are thanking the people who are around you every single day, sure, the Bills Mafia, he's acknowledged us time and time again. But this is his moment. And I think that when we are, as a community, coming together, he didn't intentionally mean to leave us out of this. He knows that we're with him 100%. But I also, he's talking about how Haley is his rock. Did you see the rock on her finger?
And she looked good.
I know.
Together in their little black ensemble. Like, I cannot wait. I hope that their wedding is like in Vogue or something.
Oh
so you
my
can see the
gosh.
pictures.
And look at his face. Look at how excited
That's
he
our
is.
guy. Like, I just want to give him a big old hug. Like, I'm so proud of him. This community is so proud of him. He's going to bring that back to us. And people all over social media are like, look, you're going to lift a bigger trophy than that soon.
We're going to put this on a t-shirt. Be good, do good, God bless, go Bills. I put that on my Instagram story. Share it around. It's just so exciting. And I get chills thinking about this. I mean, when you consider how this is the 4th time he's been nominated, the Bills should have won that game against the Chiefs. The Bills should be in the Super Bowl right now.
Yep.
They've ridden that roller coaster of emotions this year. Josh getting engaged. Here we are. You know, he's now winning MVP. This is a year for him.
It's a huge year for him. Can you imagine, like, what do you do after that, right? You go to NFL honors, you're sitting there with all of your loved ones and your teammates. You get up there, you win MVP. Like, I mean, that night, he probably was just on cloud 9 riding a high.
And, you know, to Howard's point, you can't remember everyone. And, you know, in acceptance speeches, you want to say thank you to the people who are in your orbit. Yes, we are all there as a community wrapping our arms around him, but he mentions the people who have made this moment possible for him. James says, second cup does so much for the Bills. I hope you guys will get to do a remote at the stadium next season.
That'd be cool.
Me too. Honestly, I have been emailing and sending messages and trying to get like Mac Hollins on second cup.
That would be so
That would be
cool.
so freaking awesome.
Free the feet.
Yeah, because like he's just an interesting guy. Jane said he didn't leave us out. He did a video thanking the Mafia after the ceremony. True.
I think that's on Instagram. He talks about us all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
in that exit press conference that he did after the loss, he was like, I'm going to bring Buffalo and Bills Mafia Super Bowl.
There we
That's
go.
his #1 goal.
We want Mac. I know.
Let's
We
get him.
want Mac. Maybe if we do like a petition or something, we'll get him going. Yes, Liana says, Liana, sorry. Love him. That's my quarterback. Congrats, Josh Allen.
I mean, the chance all year. I was hopeful that he would win, but all year it was, will it be Lamar? Will it be Josh? Which one? They're doing the stat comparison. But Josh was making so many like plays that just didn't even seem human. That one time he accidentally like flips it to Amari and then Amari flips it back. Then he runs in the snow against the 49ers. He ran for 3 touchdowns and threw for 3 touchdowns in one game. He passed Jim Kelly's passing record. Like he's undeniable.
Yeah,
he
he's
had
the
to
guy.
win.
So keep the Bills in your thoughts. Just a great moment for us as a community, a great moment for him. And then Stephanie, the period at the end of the sentence here, maybe this will make Sunday hurt less. Thank you.
For sure. We needed that. We needed something to make us smile. We
Right?
needed something to celebrate, to hold over our heads and say, you know what, our guy did something and he did it.
Ed saying Mac is technically not a Bill right now. He's a free agent. That's true.
Yeah, there's a whole list of free agents. I think we have it on our Instagram at WKBW. And we were asking, you know, who do you think needs to come back next year? Who do you
He's one of
think
them.
part ways? I think Amari Cooper might be one of them.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
We like Coop. Speaking of Instagram, anything good on Sunday besides that game?
Gotta be something else.
Right? We know how icy it is to start the day. We've seen a number of accidents, a number of crashes all around. The roads are slippery. And I don't know about you, but my backyard is a skating rink right now, to the extent that I literally could not get up into my backyard
laughing.
yesterday because of the ice. Watch what happened here.
Get up! That's all! Yes! Get up! That's all! This is insane!
So basically, the bottom line is I finally found a dry spot and was able to get up to the back door. But there's like this minor slope that is so absolutely,
Get up!
I don't know, menial. You don't think about it, that I couldn't even get up it.
You're out there in your shorts, you're freezing, you're screaming for Russell. Meanwhile, Russell's inside.
On the phone, talking and gossiping. And I'm like, hello, somebody help me out here. That's on my Instagram. You can follow me at Dranch TV. Just
Hilarious.
one of those moments that we can all kind of point and laugh at.
It was one of those days where you're like, I had a little video on my camera that I have like outside of my apartment. And I was going to the car and I was like trying to gameplay, like, how the heck am I going to get around this and not
Seriously.
fall? My friend, I dropped her off last night. She had to crawl her way in. So many garbage totes just everywhere.
All over the
between
place.
the wind and the ice. I'm like, I should have just stayed home.
So funny. Well, again, it's one of those days we can all point and laugh, and I'll take it. I was laughing. Just be careful as
Russell.
you're heading out this morning because it is exactly. Thank you, MB. Our driveway is steep. Forget walking on that. I actually texted Katie yesterday. I'm like, please be careful if you're going out.
I know.
Great point, James. And thank you for
Yes.
acknowledging.
Help everyone to their cars.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Guys.
Do good, be good. God bless.
Go
Go Bills.